Would you fucking stay? Your one job. Just stop. Okay then. I probably should have waited until I actually was ready to start recording, because I have to transfer this directly onto my phone. I don't know why I can't upload shit. Whenever I connect the USB from my camera to my laptop, it doesn't work. So I have to upload shit from my phone to my laptop to edit it. Actually, I probably edit it on my phone. For like more complex shit, I have to edit it on my laptop. And then transfer it back to my phone, because the Wi-Fi around here is really shit. Did you actually stop fucking recording? Was I talking to no one this entire time? I think that's enough to actually make me just end it. I've been talking for the last fucking God knows how long, probably a good 20 minutes. And it's just after, I'm just after now realising that I wasn't even recording. So that's fun. God, I fucking love this shit. Did you know that? I absolutely love this YouTube thing. It's probably for the best though, because I was just fucking yapping away. Was you actually? I have just been yapping away for probably about 20 minutes, and I haven't even taken a look at the list of shit that I want to get through. I don't know if I'll probably be able to, because I think as soon as I go out to see, I can see myself on this, and that's how I know I'm actually in frame. But I think as soon as I leave this app, it's gonna stop recording. So I've kind of fucked myself over here, but I think I have enough in my head to just sort of roll with it. I think I have enough in my head to sort of get me through, because again, spent half an hour probably talking about shit that wasn't even on my list of shit to talk about. But yeah, I suppose welcome to the first casual video. Hope you like the Grinch onesie. I felt it was very office appropriate, you know, for just sit down, fuck knows what this is, pretty much. Yeah, I was having a rant because I'm after losing the USB that had all of my files on them, all of my sound clips, all of the samples, all of the fucking audios that I downloaded from Splice, because I'm trying to get into music production at the minute. And so I got a bunch of sounds and I saved them all to this USB so I can take them wherever I want, no matter what laptop I have, no matter where I am, I can access them. Brought them to Wexford, to the little holiday holiday. I was gonna say house, I went with home, then I went with him, holiday home that we have there, and I was like, I can't lose it, because like I'm only in this one. Well, I have my own bedroom, right? There's only one countertop in that space. Also, it's a really small room. You can sort of see, like, you can pretty much touch every wall from sitting on the bed. If you're in the middle of the bed, no matter which way you go, you can pretty much touch every wall. Like, there's no way I can possibly lose this. I'm after searching every single fucking bag I brought with me. I'm after searching every single cabinet I have around here. I'm just after cleaning my room as well, so there's no way in hell it is here. So I won fucking job, and I fucked that up. after I was like, there's no way in hell I can actually lose it in this place, because like there's nowhere for it to go. There's fucking places for it to go. Forgive this because I need something to fidget with, because hopefully that'll help me look into the camera, and also it actually gets me recording, because I was actually meant to start filming content like a week ago now. I've been on holidays. I've had a week off from work, and that started tomorrow last week, so I've been gone 6 days now, and I was meant to start the first day, and that never happened. I went to Wexford, I was meant to record shit down there, but I spent my entire time down there having a quarter-life crisis about like how empty my life is, and also just how empty life is in general, and going down the whole spiral of not wanting to waste my life. So I was sort of planning shit that I want to do in the future, shit that I want to do now, shit that I want to do when I get my license, shit that I want to do when I go back to college. And yeah, spent a lot of talking to myself, a lot of journaling about not comparing myself to others, because I'm really bad for that, even though if you've seen the last video, you'll know that I struggle a lot with my mental health, always have since stage 4. That took a lot from me. I found it really hard to make friends. I've spent 2 years locked up because I had really bad social anxiety, dropped out of school, lost all my friends, still find it hard to make friends. Things just don't come easily to me. I'm very much a homebody. In the main, I do love going out, but I also love staying in, and it's a lot of fucking effort to go out a lot of the time. And also I can't drive yet, so that sort of makes it a bit harder, because I live in a town that, there are buses, but they only go every 2 hours. So not ideal. It's not the worst. Anyway, spent my entire time in Wexford just writing or drawing or walking and just exploring shit and taking photos. I could have vlogged. I have a lot more to record there than I do here, because my day, typically, if I'm not working, even when I am working, so I usually don't work until the evenings, it just looks a lot very similar to what you're seeing here. Like today, for example, I exited in this exact spot, went out driving, I worked out, I played me drums, I cleaned my room, and now for the evening I will be exactly where I am. Unless I decide to paint later, I might. Yeah, my evening will be spent in this exact spot, and it's where I spend a lot of my day, which does sound kind of sad, but I'm doing shit. I'm gonna be playing my bass later, my electric guitar, my keyboard. I have shit to edit. I have more to write about. I have drawings to make. I have YouTube ideas to fucking go through. So that's half my issue. Because like today I nearly didn't record, so I was like, what the fuck is there to record? When I could have recorded myself editing, but who the fuck wants to see that? Couldn't really record in the car because my mum was with me, and I don't think she'd object to it per se, but I don't think she fully understands the whole being online thing and what that really means and what that could potentially do if it fell in the wrong hands. And I don't really want to object her to that. This is my thing. I'm not going to drag her into it. Then what they working out. I was just cycling. I was playing a bit of football, a bit of basketball. I probably could have, but I was sort of hesitant because I've just sort of been trying to figure out what exactly I want this channel to be, you know. Growing up, I always wanted to do a bit of everything, which is the direction I am still going now, but a lot of it requires planning and thought, and I haven't really been doing that. I don't really know what I was expecting, you know. Like, I should have learned from the first video that I made. Like, that took me a month to make, and you know, like, I was filming that entire month on and off and recording and then editing and being like, oh, this needs this here, I have to go off and record that new thing, put that in. And that was meant to be a simple enough video. Like, I sort of had it planned out from the start, like, it sort of came to me, but even still, with that, there were things that cropped up that I didn't really expect would. So, you know, you think I would have learned from that. Yeah, you think I would have learned from that, but I considered that, like, my big video, you know, that was the one where I was going to edit really well and record all these different clips and put in a load of photos and putting so much effort. And, you know, obviously it's a lot fucking bigger than whatever the fuck this is. But I thought this would come a lot easier to me, but it just didn't. And, you know, part of that may be confidence, you know, part of that may just be me not being used to recording and certainly not used to showing certain parts of my life, because even when I did record the last time, it was very much one take, and it was its own separate thing. It wasn't really me recording what I was doing in the time or talking about something while I was... Right, we're back. Just trying out a storage space, which is fun. I managed to delete shit, so we're alright. Yeah, so I just sort of didn't know what to record, and I was sort of using that as an excuse not to record, because I didn't really have a direction that I wanted to go down in general, but also even just with this video. And even now, I still don't really know what there is to talk about. You know, I'm sort of having a bit of a mellow day. You know, I probably could get into the whole quarter-life crisis thing and all that if I wanted to. I might leave that for another day, because like that needs a bit more thought behind it. Also the whole, you know, I think I might actually make a video on this. I might make it later. I've been sort of deep diving the whole xoxo and Chris Hughes situation. That was mainly just out of like amusement, but now I'm after watching a video by Adam McIntyre, and he was talking about xoxo, but he was also talking about Fletcher, because she is also straight now, and I fucking love Fletcher. She's one of my favourite artists, and he made a lot of good points in that video, and I hate to admit it, but I don't know if I like the direction she's going down, so I might get into that another day. I don't have much time at the minute. Yeah, I suppose sort of the main point of this was just sort of me proving that I can make content if I want to. You know, I just have to roll with it, and you know, there's going to be days where I don't necessarily have the most inspiration, I don't necessarily have the coolest topics to talk about, I don't necessarily have a video planned out. I am going to get into that more, because I promised this coming week is going to be filled with a lot of me trying to... I do this quite often, and it's something that I don't... You know, I used to love doing it. Now I don't necessarily know if it's the right thing to do or if I like it that more, but I often go through these phases of just getting this overwhelming need to change. And, you know, it usually happens after some sort of crisis about how short life is and how I'm wasting my time and all that. And, you know, I don't know, I'm starting to think maybe it's not the right method necessarily to just go and change up everything and to plan everything out, because I get so caught up in planning and making everything perfect that when I fuck up something, or you know, something doesn't work out the way I want it to, or I can't do something one day for whatever reason, I sort of use that as a way to sort of back out of it. Not intentionally, but I just get discouraged when things don't pan out how I wanted them to, and I think that's sort of a reflection on me and my abilities to do shit, and that's not the case at all. So I think the main thing that if I really am going to change, like if I do actually want to make the most of my life, I don't think it's actually gaining more, it's more sort of a letting go kind of thing that I need to work on. So one of those things that I'm trying to do at the minute is being a bit less intense with my music practice, because I get so caught up in trying to get everything right, and you know, it doesn't feel worthwhile if I don't have like an hour to dedicate to each instrument, and that sort of takes away so much joy, to the point where sometimes I will just not do it at all. I end up really procrastinating because I know I won't be able to do it the way that I want to do it, and it's a very much all or nothing kind of mindset, and it hasn't gotten me anywhere. And one of my biggest flaws, I suppose, is that I'm very much someone who will do the same thing 10 times over and expect the result to be different. So I'm trying not to do that this time, and I suppose that's the big change that I was hoping to. That's sort of the big breakthrough of my trip to Wexford. And you know, hopefully this week will be a bit more exciting. I'm going to record shit that I might not usually record, because I'm hoping it's just a case of me being uncomfortable with recording it and then sort of being able to break through that, and that might lead to me being able to make more exciting content. And you know, like I said, this week it's going to be dedicated to me just sort of trying to do a lot of things that I've been putting off doing for one reason or another, and being a bit less strict on myself, because I'm really bad. I've made a routine for myself which I find it really hard to break, and I'm very much in a slump at the minute where I'm doing the same thing every day, and while I am seeing progress with the things that I'm trying to work on, I'm losing motivation to actually wanting to be good at them, and one of those things is music, which I hate to really go through because music means so much to me, but when I put so much pressure on myself to do things so perfectly, and when I dedicate so much of my life to it, I mean, that's not the issue. I will happily spend hours and hours playing my guitar or whatever instrument it is, but it's not realistic for every day, and when I can't do it every day, that really gets to me, so I feel like I'm falling behind when, well, first of all, I'm not, but then that's also making me more depressed about where I am, because I feel like I should be further along, even though there's not much I can do about that. And then it's also sending me back down depression, where I find it really hard to do things in the first place. I end up procrastinating shit, so I don't get that done, but then I also don't have the time to do other things that I like doing. I suppose maybe it's just a bit of, yeah, it's just a big part of this whole crisis is while I do actually really enjoy my life at the minute, there is so much more that I want to do, and I'm sort of scared that I'm never going to do it because, again, I'm really bad for routines, but also I want to do it while I'm young, which, you know, I know life doesn't stop when you're in your 30s. You know, I'm not one of those people who's gonna be like, oh, once the kids come along, then, you know, or oh, my 20s, my glory years. That's not the path I want to go down. Also, I don't really want kids, so I suppose I don't really have a reason for it to. But yeah, I'm gonna make sure it carries on anyway. But I want to start out. The earlier I start, the more time I will have to do all these things. And yeah, I just want something new, really. And yeah, nothing wrong with that. And but again, routine habits, I'm finding it really hard to break out of my routine and make time for all these new things. Like even shit with driving, I find it really hard to make time for it, even though I actually really like it. And like in my head, I just don't have the time because I'm like, oh, but I need to practice my guitar because, you know, I have to do it every day and I need to spend an hour on that, and, you know, each instrument takes an hour, so that's 5 hours total. I need to work out, that takes a good 2 hours. And, you know, I just stress myself out over shit that doesn't need to be stressed about. And I don't want to live like that. So the only way to stop it is to just stress about it for a while until I don't stress about it anymore. That's sort of what I've come to realise over the years. The only way to actually stop doing something is to start doing something, even if it doesn't feel right to begin with, just knowing that it's going to get you somewhere. That's the aim of the game, really, to just get to a place where I can do what I want whenever I want, which sounds really stupid to say out loud because free will. I have a very flexible job. I don't work until like 5 o'clock in the evening most days. I only work 5 hours. I am off college. I'm 21. I should be able to do whatever the fuck I want, shouldn't I? Which I can, but I make my own set of rules, and it's always been hard for me to break out of them. So yeah, I don't really have a specific timeline for when I'm gonna do all these things. I'm probably gonna do it this evening, because I feel like if I don't tell myself, oh, you have to do this today, I'll just find an excuse to skip my usual routine, which is not what I want to be doing. Even just today, I started off good today because I've been meaning to go driving for the last few days and I just haven't. And part of that is my fault, so I do suffer a lot with nausea and headaches and dizziness, to the point where like I can go days at a time and just get let up, and that's sort of what happened the last few days. But on good days, I'm also really bad at putting it off, because for me to go driving, it's very much out of my routine and sort of out of my comfort zone. Again, I sort of have driving anxiety. It has mostly gone away, thankfully, at this stage, but also it's just a lot of effort. Which I know makes me sound really fucking lazy, which, I mean, fair enough, but it, in my mind, it just makes it so easy for me to make excuses not to do it. So I don't do it as much as I would like to do. But today, as soon as I got up, I was like to my mum, when can I go driving today? And I stuck with it, because the amount of days I've gone to where, oh, I want to go driving today, and then when the time comes to actually go, I make an excuse, or I don't actually set a time for her to go, and then she ends up forgetting. But I'm well aware that I want to go driving, that I should be driving, but I just don't remind her. And so today I actually just got out and did it, and yeah, I just go and cook. My parents there now, so that is it from me for today, unless I decide to record more later, because part of me is still not happy with this video. Because I feel like it's not interesting, and maybe it's not interesting, but not all of my videos are gonna be interesting. And I just, again, this is for me, and I just wanted to ramble today. Yeah, I just wanted to ramble today because to me that was progress, and that was all I really have time to do today. And also it is one of my favourite types of videos to make. I have made different types of videos over the years, and well, I like making all the other ones, but fucking editing, I do actually like editing, but it annoys me when it takes so long, because I feel like I'm not actually getting anywhere. Yeah, I just have to trust the process, and maybe one day this won't be such a struggle for me, and I might be able to think of topics easier, I might be able to talk about things easier, I won't struggle as much coming up with ideas, and maybe when I go through my notes later today of shit that I've thought of over the years, I'll be able to make more exciting content. But we all have to start off somewhere, no one goes into anything being perfect at a first try. Just have to put in the hours, put in the efforts, and just trust the process, I guess, which is something that I'm trying to really reteach myself, because I don't really know how to describe this, it's something that you think I would know by now, because like, I only started playing guitar 2 years ago, and it's something I don't really think about, because I can just do a lot of the things that I want to do, and I learn things a lot quicker. But there are other things that I've taken more recently that I still struggle with, but I have seen the progress with them. And like my first day playing guitar, I don't even know what the fuck I played, but I couldn't even do basic. Like, I literally, when I was trying to do a C chord, I literally had to 5, and then 1, 2, 3, and 2, and the A chord is this one here, and now I just, it is all a process, so just need to keep reminding myself of that, because again, I am a bit of a perfectionist, and I sort of know what I want my channel to look like, but I don't exactly, and that's going to come with time, and it's going to take a bit of testing shit out, a bit of getting things wrong in order to know what I don't want, in order to get shit right. And yeah, so we'll be back at some stage.